Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Jacqueline and this is Low Carblish. If you're new here, this is a channel where we take our favorite high carb foods and make low carb versions of them to try and control our blood sugars and reverse type 2 diabetes. Today we are going to be making some maple waffles, and they are easy and delicious and low carb. So I'm going to have a list of everything that we're putting in down in the description, but I'll go over everything for those of y'all that need me to do that too. So this recipe starts out, we've got 3 tablespoons of almond flour. We've got 1 beaten egg. We've got half a teaspoon of baking powder. I've got half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I've got a teaspoon of oat fiber. Now this is not oat flour, this is oat fiber. And I'll leave a link down below if you can't get it in your area, where you can get it off of Amazon, because I had to get mine off of Amazon. I couldn't find it here locally either. And I've got a teaspoon of water. Anytime you're using oat fiber in a recipe, you want to add the same amount of water as you're adding to the oat fiber, because it can be very drying if you don't. We've got a tablespoon of melted butter. I'm going to have a little pinch of salt in here, and we've got a tablespoon of allulose. And this is what we're going to use to make our waffle batter. And then for the syrup today, we're going to make maple syrup. And I've got some Keto simple syrup here, which is what I've got in this bowl. And then we're going to be adding some of this Olive Nation maple extract. And I have Olive Nation, but you can use any brand of maple extract that you have. You can also make other flavors of syrup, like if you prefer blueberry or strawberry or whatever. Just get that kind of flavoring and put it with your simple syrup, and you've got a perfect flavored 0 carb syrup for your waffle. And then I've just got spray oil here that I'm going to use to spray our little mini dash waffle makers. And I've got this cup here that we're going to mix it in. So I'm going to get this stuff mixed up, and then as soon as I get the batter made, I'll bring the waffle makers over here and we'll get started, okay? So, like I said, we've got almond flour, and I've got oat fiber, and then I'm doing baking powder, not baking soda, but baking powder. Got a half a teaspoon of cinnamon here, and then I've got a tablespoon of the allulose powder. And I'm just going to stir all the dry ingredients up, and then in just a second, when I get this stirred up, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And the only reason I add the salt is because it brings out the sweetness in the allulose a little bit, but it's just a little bit, like it's like a dash or a pinch. Like, that's it. You don't need a whole lot, because this is not a huge recipe. Alright, so now we're going to add in the water to counteract the oat fiber. And then we're going to add our butter in. And then we're going to put our egg in and stir everything together. And then we'll be making waffles. Alright. So let me get this all stirred up in here. And you know, it's funny. I used to love, when I was eating high carb, I used to love eating those Eggo waffles. And since I've been eating low carb, I rarely crave like waffles or pancakes or any of that, but lately, this past week, I've been wanting waffles, so I thought I'm going to make some waffles, and I thought, well, that'd make a good video, so that's what we're doing today. And I'm sorry also, y'all, that I'm a day late with the video, but I had a company come out yesterday that was supposed to clean out my pipes for my dryer vent. I have, the way my house is set up, I've got my dryer. The vent runs under the floor and under the garage, and then it goes out the other side of the house. And so when they came to clean it, they found out that it had gotten disconnected underneath the house. So they were here for many hours yesterday, so I didn't have an opportunity to film yesterday. So I'm running a little bit late, but hopefully y'all will like this recipe. Alright, so I've got this mixed up. So I'm going to clean this up and get the little waffle makers over here, and then we'll get busy making waffles. Alright, y'all, so I've got everything cleaned up here. I've got these 2 little mini dash waffle makers. I don't know if y'all have ever seen them or not. I had never heard of these until I started eating low carb, and some of the people on YouTube introduced me to them. They're really cool. They're little bitty waffle makers, and I've already got these going hot because I want to get the waffles done. But I'll leave a link down to Amazon if you want to get one too. I think they're like $14 or something. They're not horribly expensive. Or that's what they were when I bought mine. And we're just going to spray a little bit of spray on each one of them. And then I've got to get my measuring spoons here because I like to measure out. Still got a little water in this. Let me dry it out real quick. I like to measure the batter out for these because this will make 2 servings if you're having other things, or it'll make 1 serving if you're just having nothing but waffles. You got a little egg stuff going on here. The batter. And I put 2 tablespoons in each waffle maker and spread it out a little bit. And then let them cook. And depending on how crispy you like yours, you're going to leave it down for anywhere from between 2 and 3 minutes. So put the batter in there like that and let's close it up. And we'll be back in just a minute when they're done. These are good, y'all. Okay, y'all, so I'm getting ready to take these waffles out and you'll see how beautifully that batter has spread. And I wanted to show y'all, you're going to get a lot of steam from this recipe. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I hope you can. But that's normal too, and so don't worry about that. And these little waffles are really good. I enjoy them a lot. And I'm going to do the second serving here. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on the waffle irons here. And we're going to get spoons out. And I usually have to use a spatula to get the last serving out. But that's okay because they still turn out well. And this, I'm only getting 3 waffles out of this. That's unusual. So I don't know what I did. I'll have to check my recipe and see what I did. Alright, so this is going to be our 3rd waffle here. I'm going to unplug this because these guys don't have an on-off switch. You just have to plug them in and unplug them. And they do get hot, so just be careful when you're working with them that you just let them cool off before you get going with them again. And we'll be back in just a minute. Take this one out. Okay, y'all, so this is the 3rd waffle and it's ready. I'm going to plate it up on another plate. I don't know what I did today because I usually get 4 waffles out of this. I may have gone over what I usually put in the waffle maker. So we're going to call a waffle and a half a serving today because I usually get 4 waffles out of it. But I got 3 today, and the calories and the macros are going to be the same for the whole recipe no matter how many waffles you decide or get made out of it. So I'm going to cut this other waffle in half. And because I know y'all probably noticed that Jenny's here today. So I'm feeding her a half waffle and a half too. But anyway, so here's the waffles. And then I'm going to make the syrup here. And I'll see if Jenny can come up just a little bit closer so y'all can watch me do this. I usually use about 3 drops of this extract in my syrup. And y'all just gonna have to experiment and see how much syrup y'all want to make for yours. It's no carb, no calorie, simple syrup. So you kind of got a little freedom with that. I'm going to guess I've got about 2 tablespoons of simple syrup in this little thing here. And that's what I do usually is 3 drops of the maple syrup, or the maple extract, I mean. And then I just go in here and I stir it up real good. And you can also heat this up on the stove just to get that hot maple syrup flavor. But just be careful when you're doing this because the simple syrup will caramelize on you. And if you get it too hot, it's going to turn into like a caramel sauce. And we don't want that on the waffles. So there is our maple syrup to go with our waffles. And I am going to get a little spoon in here and go in. Now you can add a pat of butter on top of yours if you want to. Just remember, if you're doing that and you're keeping track of your calories and everything, to add the calories from the butter. I don't put butter on top of mine right now because I've already got butter in the batter. So for me, it's enough. But like I say, if you want to put butter on top of it, you just go for it, boo-boo. And that is it, y'all. And just like that, we've got maple waffles, and they're delicious. So I'm going to take a... Do you have a preference as to which one you would like, Miss Jenny?
No.
Okay, I'll try this one. Just give y'all a little taste test so I prove to you that they're good. Mmm. Yes. So you guys, if you like waffles and you've been missing some of the breakfast foods, this is a really good recipe to do it. It's 141 calories per serving. So if you cut the recipe in half, you're going to get 141 calories and 2 net carbs. If you eat this whole recipe, you're at 282 calories and 4 net carbs. So if you want to do nothing but waffles, that's great. If you want to have some waffles with like an egg or some other kind of protein or something, that's also a really good choice. So I hope you try this and like it. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me today. If you would, hit that like button so that other people that have just been diagnosed can find my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, though, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. And for all of y'all that are already subscribed, I really, really appreciate your love and support. And I appreciate it if you would share this channel with anybody that you know that might have just been diagnosed with type 2, or people that have had it for a while that are looking for answers. Because, you know, we're all about the community here and trying to help each other. So I hope you guys have a fabulous week. I'm sending love, joy to all of you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.